Have you been tuning in to the Olympics?
I have not, but I haven't. But I do plan to. You know, when I do get a little time, get a little freed up. You know, schedule's a little busy. I'll probably catch it on like YouTube or something. But you know, I haven't. So yeah.
How has it been getting into fall camp and just this sophomore season? How different does it feel this time around, and how are you feeling now 2 practices in?
I mean, obviously, like going from one season to the next, especially your first season to your second, I mean, you've seen a lot of things that coming in your first season you had never seen before, and you know, just different things like that. So just going into my second season, it's not really I know exactly what to expect, but I know the type of things to expect, just like from a scheme standpoint of like reading offenses, and I just go like on and on about that. But it's really just, you know, not being caught by surprise in a lot of situations that I probably would have last year.
Do you like bouncing back and forth, and have you gotten more accustomed to it between end and inside?
I love it. But like as far as being accustomed to it, you know, I've been doing that as far as I can remember, you know, just as far as I play, as long as I play football, that's just what I've been doing. So, you know, when I was asked to do it, it just wasn't really like a second thought for me. So it was just it's a smooth transition for sure.
It's kind of jarring to see 319 beside a defensive end's name. And you said yourself during the sprint you were shooting for 295, but it sounds like you're in great shape according to coach. Can you just explain to me that progression? And
you know, I looked at the scale on the big weigh-in day, and I was just as surprised as everybody else. You know, I always tell everybody I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my life. You know, the fastest, the strongest, and so it's just kind of a thing like that we were looking at between me and the coaches and everybody. It's just like, you know, what am I able to do? And these first 2 days of practice, like I said, I've felt the best I've ever felt. So it's just the fact of the matter, am I able to get the job done? And I feel like I am at the size I am right now.
About the fact that this year's year's unit seems to be a little bit more player-led in the hype side of things and vocally motivating each other. Does it feel a little bit different, and where do you kind of feel like that is coming from? Is that partially you and your own confidence this year, or where is that?
100% just the relationships that we have on this team. Like, this team is so close, just outside of just my unit and my group. You know, you got different units and groups, you know, going out with each other, eating with each other, you know, dining with each other, and, you know, just spending quality time together outside of this building. And that just makes a lot of difference when it comes to, you know, what brother you're gonna bleed and you're gonna sweat with ultimately. And so, you know, from the guys who are the first ones to run out on the field to the last people out on the field, it's all like bang bang. We're all super close, tight knit, and so that helps us, you know, helps develop the young guys too. And that's something that I've really seen with this team that, you know, I haven't really seen a lot of times with teams that I've been on. Is just how close we are, how tight knit, and just, you know, that's what you want in a team when you're trying to go all the way, because you willing to do whatever for your brothers.
Been on other teams, and it's never quite been like that, and it is kind of unique, especially the crossing of positions and sides of the ball and all of that. Is there something specific? Was it part of last year that made this happen, or was it a result of that, or how do you think you guys have done this and sort of bridged that gap?
I would just accredit it to the culture of the school that we're at. You know, that's just something that our coaches kind of foster, and I mean, we just took it, and this group just took it and ran with it, and, you know, it's become a big thing for us. So that excites me a lot. You know, we get turned up about what looks like nothing all the time just because of how much we love each other. So they're my boys for sure.
What you're doing is kind of amazing to me because, you know, if you line up as a 0 technique, you're right on the nose of the center. If you line up as a 7 technique, you're, you know, on the outside shoulder of a tight end. Is that fun for you to say I can go 0 to 7 and I don't worry about it?
This is the most fun thing about football to me. Like the fact that, like, I can go out there and you don't really know where I'm gonna be is what makes it a lot of fun. And the fact that there's so many guys around me to where really you can't even pinpoint me because it's dogs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know where I'm gonna be. You don't know where Peyton's gonna be. You don't know where Damontre's gonna be. So that's a thing that we really pride ourselves in all across the board, really. And you'll get to see that a little bit, just about just the versatility and just being able to see, you know, who can play where.
It almost sounds like you're going to be the hired assassin. Like, you're not going to play just one position every play. Like, one play you could be a 0. Next play you could be a 7. Next play you could be a 3.
Yeah, it could work like that. I mean, it's obviously subject to game plan, but so I don't really know yet. But I'm I mean, training both. That's about it. You know, getting ready for stuff like you just said. So.
How confident are you already in the leadership role that you have on this defense?
Ultra, and that, like I said, that just comes from the relationship that I have with, my teammates, and so they know whenever, we're on each other pretty hard, it's out of love, and we've had that talk every time. It's like I get on, it's like I come back, like, I love y'all, right? Like that's why I do this, because I care about y'all, and I want y'all to get to where y'all say y'all want to be. And same thing with me. I require accountability all across the board. So if I'm doing something, if I'm slacking, let me know. And that's just kind of the relationship that we have really across the whole team. And that's another special thing about this team that you just brought out of me.
Where does that come from for you, though? Because, I was talking to Kate at ACC Kickoff, and he mentioned, he feels more comfortable now approaching an offensive lineman, where when he was a freshman, asking his offensive linemen that were seniors to go out to dinner was maybe a little bit more uncomfortable or intimidating, and that he's in a different place now. So for you to already be a sophomore and already be comfortable in these, where does that confidence come from? Was that something that you've always had? Has that always been your role, that it was natural? Because I think it would be natural to be a little bit intimidated coming into a place like this.
Yeah, but I'll also accredit that to the culture of Clemson. Our coaches also foster that. Coach Easton tells me all the time, leadership is not age, it's action and example. And so, the person who's taking the right actions and making the right example reserves the right to be a leader. And, that's from the youngest of the youngest to the oldest of the oldest. It's not really an age, if you get what I'm trying to say. So there's guys that'll hold me accountable on something I'll do, and I'll be the last one to say anything back. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know where it's coming from, and I know that it's all constructive criticism. And that's one thing that is just crazy about this team, is the fact that everybody's so bought into the process of wanting to get better and wanting to see their brothers win.
Harder on you, and I guess TJ as well, given that y'all are in those leadership sort of?
I mean, I feel like as a unit, we're held to a standard, and I feel like if I was to not uphold the standard, then yeah, it would probably be a lot worse to me than if a freshman who was coming in and didn't really know, how to go about upholding the standard. But for me, I'm harder on myself than anybody else could ever be. So. Really, if I'm not upholding the standard, I'll probably usually know before anybody else.
You're the same guy in the weight room that you are at 6 o'clock in the morning during mat drills, that you are out on the field, that you are in the film room. Where does that consistency come from?
Drive, man. It's drive, and it's just, we talk about in our team meetings and stuff, just making sure that when you're doing something that you do it for a why. And I think my thing is that my why is just so much bigger than myself, and really I can't even pinpoint one. Like, I'm doing this, for my family, I'm doing this for my brothers, I'm doing this for the people in my city. So it's just those things, like when you get into a slump, you get into a place, and this is just for anything in life, you just lean back on that why, whatever it may be. It might be multiple things, but that's what really gets you through the hard slumps, because it's not easy going through the weight room, especially like being in fall camp. But leaning on that type of stuff is what will get you through for sure, and that's what gets me through, honestly.
And your why is to get to the next level.
Yeah, that's one of about 35, so for sure.
Anybody else for Peter?
Are you anticipating alternating back and forth, like per practice, every other practice?
I just kind of do what I'm told, you know what I'm saying? I alternated a little bit today. I didn't yesterday, so it's just kind of like a coach's scheming thing. That's way above my pay grade, but, I'm here to play football. That's about it.
Not sure if you're a preseason team guy, but were you surprised at all to see yourself on the preseason ACC team? Did you notice that? Is that a chip on the shoulder for you?
Nah, I don't really care. I'm just, like I said, I'm just here to play football. You know what I'm saying? I'm very confident in the work that I put in this offseason, and, it's going to show. And that's about it. That's about all I got to say on that. I don't really care for real.
Damontre was saying that you've even taught him some technique things, even able to work with him, kind of show him a couple things. Like, what types of things are you able to share with him or your teammates?
Just like the little things, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm just a vessel of our coaches when they're not there. That's all leadership is, looks like in a player-led role. And so just the little things, that I've gotten from Coach Easton and Coach Rump just over my really short period of time of being here. I just kind of just taught them, I've always kind of prided myself. I'm kind of an accelerated learner, and you know, a lot of people don't learn things in different ways. So I really prided myself on just learning how people learn different stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Damontre, he's one of those guys who you really gotta you gotta show him. And so he soaks it up perfectly fine. And just wait till, y'all wait till y'all see him on the 31st. It's gonna be crazy. He definitely soaking everything up. Like, it's gonna be crazy for sure.
There were a couple of plays he had last year. Jim Nate, Senior Bowl, tweeted it out like a week ago against Notre Dame, where he shoves the center all the way back. You would see like how strong is he and how disruptive is he in the last scrimmage? Has he changed things for you guys?
Yeah, Cuddy, we call him Big Cuddy, but he's a game changer, game wrecker, whatever you want to call it. He has something that you really just can't teach. Is the heavy-handedness of like a defensive lineman that everybody like desires. Like even me, like I'm like, golly, like he just even accidentally, like he's just one of those kids like when he was little just running and knocking everything over. Like that's Damontre. And so the way that translates to the football field is he's a game wrecker, game changer. He can truly this year tear up games, like literally, and that's what we're starting to see out there. Like just the way that he's locked in and really committed to wanting to do that every single down, every single play of every single game. Like y'all gonna see, I know, but y'all gonna see. Like it's gonna be great. I'm excited about it.
Like Devo said in the offseason, they did one of the new jumbo package guys, replacing, I guess, what Tyler and Root would do. How much work have you gotten in those like brief offensive settings, and pretty excited about the possibility of maybe being out there catching a pass, doing something?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Every defensive lineman dream is to play on offense. So, I mean, I just leave it at that. We haven't really gotten into, you know, scheme things of that nature like you're speaking on, but I'm excited for it. Obviously, like if I get in the box, you know what I'm saying? I got me a little touchdown dance, might get in trouble, but it only happens like one time in every defensive lineman career. So, you know, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, I asked you your college football 25 rating.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of a surprise was that? I know you said you wouldn't write like a nasty email.
Yeah.
You didn't have a good rating, you're going to write them a nice email now and say thank you.
Yeah, so I wasn't surprised, but I was excited about it. I played with myself a couple times on the game just to see what I got, and yeah, I just wish I was about half the player that my player was on the game because he's pretty nasty. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. It's a fun game, and I try not to be on it too much. I don't even have a system, so if I got to get on it, I'm going to somebody's house or I'm playing somebody else's game. So it was cool being able to see that they presented it to me. It was a whole good little ordeal, and I appreciate EA for that.
Like contacting you saying that they're like playing with you
All the time. I appreciate the game-winning sack. We're playing against you. You gotta stop. You gotta stop disrupting my running back, quarterback. But it's all funny. I just, you know, that's a good thing that they're doing. Like EA just giving us that opportunity just to be. I mean, that's a dream for every college athlete or little kid just to see their name like in a football game that we kind of played growing up, like the early NCAAs. So it's kind of like when you just kind of stop and think about it, it's kind of like crazy, like you're in a video game. But just blessed to even be considered to even be one of the, whatever I was like top 150 or something like that in the game. So it was a good little ordeal.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Appreciate y'all.